In a previous session, we talked about the progression of Mormons, progression of the human from an intelligence to that spirit world in the pre-moral existence to our mortal existence, and then to that post-mortal or that third estate where we're divided into spirit prison and spirit paradise. But finally, the ultimate ending place is that judgment scene where you're split into one of those 3 degrees of glory. And so one of the questions you might have is, well, how does that judgment go, or on what basis am I judged? And I would say, just sort of conceptually, the cleanest or easiest way to think about this, first of all, is when, if ever, did you receive the ordinances of the LDS Church? Thinking about baptism and the temple endowment, temple marriage. When were those things, if ever, applied to you? And that'll dictate which level of the telestial or the terrestrial or the celestial glory that you end up in. And then further, if you ended up in that celestial glory, then you would have to ask the question of how well did you live the commandments in this life? That then determines which level of that celestial kingdom that you end up with. Former President Monson said, "It is the celestial glory we seek. It is in the presence of God we desire to dwell. It is a forever family in which we want membership. Such blessings are earned, and a high report card in mortality qualifies us to graduate with honors." Graduating with honors is what LDS theologians call exaltation. That's what the highest degree of the celestial kingdom. It's where people live forever in the presence of Heavenly Father and Jesus, where they themselves become gods, as Doctrine and Covenants 132 talks about. To be exalted then takes a combination of things. It takes, on the one hand, the ordinances of the LDS Church. I believe you need to have those applied to you, and to reach the highest levels. Not only do you have to have those applied to you, you have to have those applied to you in mortality, but also your own personal righteousness is judged and is needed to gain an access to that highest degree of glory. And that takes a lifetime of keeping the commandments. The LDS Church teaches the kinds of things in addition to ordinances that are required. So Gospel Principles says, of course, you need to not only have those saving ordinances applied personally, but you also need those saving ordinances done on behalf of others. So you need to be doing the work for kindred dead. That's one of the, you need to perform those saving ordinances for others. You also need to pay honest tithes and offerings. You need to obey the word of wisdom. In summary, the LDS Church Doctrine Manual, the Gospel Principles says, in other words, each person must endure in faithfulness, keeping all of the Lord's commandments until the end of his life on earth. Joseph Smith taught that this ascension to celestial glory is like climbing a ladder. You've got to do your work. It's a pathway that our Heavenly Father, he says, has progressed before him. It's one that we also then progress. That is the plan that Heavenly Father followed, and that is the plan that he hopes that you will follow as well.